Viewers, let me bring you straight to the heart of what is happening right now in Kogi State. Local hunters and security men have gone deep into the forest after weeks of rising tension and attacks along the busy Okane to Lokoja Road. What they met there is nothing small. Reports from the ground show that armed men suspected to be behind recent kidnappings tried to hide inside the forest, but this time, hunters who know every bush path were ready for them. The clash that followed left the attackers scattered, with some of their hideouts destroyed, and this is why the news everywhere says hunters stormed the forest and wiped out dangerous camps. My people, this is serious, and we must break it down slowly so you can understand all angles. Before I continue, please remember to like this video right now and subscribe if you are just joining. Your support helps us bring more real updates. Don't just watch and pass. Hit that like button and drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Now, let's talk about the background. For months now, travelers in Kogi have been living in fear. Many buses have been stopped, passengers taken away, sometimes even during the day. These criminals wear camouflage to deceive people, pretending to be security men, but they are not. This has caused families pain, as mothers, fathers, and children have been separated. But the local hunters and vigilante service, together with the military, said enough is enough. They went into the bush, they used their knowledge of the land, and they confronted the criminals. Reports say victims were rescued, and some leaders of the criminal groups were taken down during these operations. If you are still watching me, please stop now and like this video. Also subscribe, because the more you support us, the more we bring you this kind of truth that others may not tell you. Think about it. Hunters are not soldiers, but they know the land better than anyone. These are the people who grew up tracking animals, moving silently in the bush, and they turned that same skill into protecting their communities. Without their bravery, many of these kidnappers would still be hiding, planning more attacks. And it's not just one event. We've been seeing a series of actions. Some weeks ago in Kaba and Benue, hunters also rescued kidnapped people and stopped some of the attackers. Then, in other parts of Kogi, the army carried out strikes inside the forests, freeing those who had been held captive. Every time the criminals run deeper into the forest, the hunters follow them. Every time they try to regroup, security forces move in. But we must understand this is not yet the end. Please, again, like this video and subscribe now, because I want you to stay with me to the end. What I am telling you affects every Nigerian who may travel that road tomorrow. Now, let's go deeper. Why are these attacks happening in Kogi forests? The answer is three things. First, the land is covered with thick bush and long stretches of roads that do not have constant security patrols. That means criminals can hide and strike at night or early morning. Second, security presence is not always strong in every area, so when there is a gap, criminals use that gap to move in. Third, money. Kidnapping has become a source of income for these groups. They hold people, ask families to bring money, and that keeps the cycle going. That is why these hunters going into the forest is so important. They are breaking the hiding places and destroying the camps, making it harder for the attackers to continue. Friends, let me pause here. Please like this video now and subscribe, because we need your support to spread awareness so more people can be careful and stay safe. So now, picture this with me. A big bus, carrying traders and travelers moving along the Lokoja-Okane Road. Everyone inside thinking about where they are going, some going to the market, some returning home, some visiting family. Suddenly, from the bush, armed men jump out. They wear camouflage, looking like soldiers, but they are not. They shoot into the air, they force the bus to stop, and in that confusion, they pull people out. This is the kind of pain many people in Kogi have faced. But this time, hunters nearby heard the commotion. They alerted the local vigilante service and they rushed in. A fight broke out right there, on the road and inside the forest. In the end, some passengers were freed, but sadly, one person lost their life in the attack. Viewers, these are real human beings, people like you and me who were just on a normal journey. This is why security stories must be taken seriously. Please stop now, like this video, and subscribe so we can keep updating you with the truth. Now, let's talk about the hunters themselves. These are not ordinary people. They are men who grew up inside those forests. They can track footsteps, they can read broken leaves, they can tell when somebody passed through a path even hours ago. In the past, they used these skills for hunting animals, but now they are using them to hunt down criminals. And let me tell you, without them, many of these kidnappers would remain hidden forever. In Kaba some time ago, hunters entered the bush, freed victims, and brought them back alive. In another part of Kogi, when kidnappers attacked a village, hunters went in first before the army even arrived. The bravery of these hunters has become a big story across the state. Viewers, do me one favor, like this video now and subscribe because we must appreciate and encourage the work of these local heroes. But the hunters are not working alone. The Nigerian army is also on ground. In one operation, soldiers stormed a hideout and confronted a known leader of these armed groups. Reports said the leader and some of his men were taken down in the fight, and several people who had been held hostage were freed. The victims, some of them children, walked out of the forest alive because of that operation. Can you imagine the relief of those families when they saw their loved ones again? This is why, even though the situation is dangerous, there is still hope. As you watch this, remember to like the video and subscribe because we will continue bringing you more positive news as security forces make progress. Let's not forget the families of those kidnapped. Imagine a mother waiting at home for her son who went to the market and suddenly she gets a phone call that he has been taken. Imagine the father who is told he must pay huge amounts of money before his daughter can come back. That is the reality that many people face, and it is painful. Some people have sold land. Some have borrowed from friends just to bring their loved ones back. This is why when you hear hunters storming the forest and rescuing victims, you know it means more than just numbers. It means families are reunited. And viewers, if you are feeling this story deeply, show your support by liking this video now and subscribing. Your one click can help more people hear what is happening and stay aware. But I must also tell you the truth. The fight is not yet over. These groups do not just disappear in one day. When hunters raid one camp, the criminals sometimes move to another bush. When the army clears one forest, they regroup somewhere else. That is why continuous action is needed, day after day, week after week. If we relax, they will come back stronger. But if hunters, vigilantes, and the army keep working together, they can weaken these groups until they cannot rise again. And while we are talking, I want you to please like and subscribe. Yes, do it now, because the more this channel grows, the more we can keep giving you updates that are clear, simple, and true. Now, let us look at why Kogi has become so important in this whole matter. Kogi is right in the center of Nigeria. If you are traveling from the north to the south or from the east to the west, there is a big chance you will pass through Kogi. That is why many criminals choose those forests along major roads. They know travelers must pass. This is why these attacks shake the whole country, not just Kogi people. But the good news is that the state government is not just watching. They have been giving support to hunters and vigilante groups, providing equipment, uniforms, even insurance promises, so they can go into dangerous zones without fear. This shows the seriousness of the fight. Friends watching, this is the moment for you to please like this video now and subscribe, because we must spread this awareness far and wide. Think about the bravery it takes to go into those forests. These are not small bushes. We are talking about deep forests with thick trees, dark corners, and many hidden camps. Hunters leave their families at home, knowing they might not return. Some have even lost their lives in this fight. Yet they still go because they know if they don't, innocent people will continue to suffer. Viewers, let us appreciate them right now. Like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment thanking these local heroes, because sometimes a word of encouragement means a lot. But there is another side to this story. While hunters and soldiers are fighting hard, the criminals are also adapting. They move in smaller groups, they use motorcycles to escape quickly, and they hide weapons inside the bush. Sometimes they even pretend to be ordinary travelers until the right moment. This is why intelligence, information from the people is very important. If villagers see strange movement, if they see people they don't recognize hiding in the bush, they must report quickly. In fact, in one of the latest cases, it was local information that helped security men know where the kidnappers were holding victims. Now, Let's look at the communities themselves. Villages near this forest have lived in fear for years. People are cautious about traveling at night. Some farmers cannot go to their farms early in the morning because of the risk. Some children are afraid to go to school alone. But the recent operations by hunters and security forces have brought hope. People are starting to feel safer. Families who once locked their doors all day can now step out to trade or travel, knowing that brave men are patrolling the forests. Friends, if you feel this hope, like this video now, subscribe, and share with others so everyone knows that safety is possible when people act together. Travelers, listen carefully. If you have plans to go through Kogi or nearby states, plan your journey carefully. Travel during the day. Use main roads with regular security presence. Avoid isolated bush tracks. Always let family or friends know your route. This is not just advice, it can save lives. In fact, many of the people who were rescued were alive because someone reported unusual movement or suspicious men in the bush. That is why community awareness is as important as bravery in the forests. Please, while you are watching, like this video, subscribe and comment below if you have tips for safe travel. Let's help each other. Let's now talk about the criminals themselves. They are very organized. They move in groups, they know the terrain, and they often hide in remote parts of the forest. They sometimes pretend to be travelers. They use motorcycles to escape quickly, and they plan their attacks carefully. But the hunters and army are not backing down. Every camp that is destroyed, every leader that is removed, every victim rescued, it weakens them. It shows that these criminals cannot hide forever. Viewers, if you want to support this fight against crime, like this video now, subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. The more people know, the safer we all are. Think about the courage it takes to face these men. Hunters leave their homes and families. They face armed criminals in dense forests. Some of them risk their lives every day. Soldiers also move into these dangerous areas, facing traps, hidden weapons, and ambushes. Every successful rescue is not just a news story. It is a life saved. It is a mother reunited with her child. It is a father seeing his son again. It is a community restored. Friends, if you agree that courage deserves recognition, like this video, subscribe, and comment to show your support for these heroes. And now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This is not just Kogi. The fight against kidnappers and criminals is happening all across Nigeria. Forests and highways in many states have seen similar attacks. But Kogi is special because hunters there are so skilled, and the state government is actively supporting them. These operations show that when communities, hunters, and security forces work together, they can make a real difference. And this is a message of hope for the whole country. Viewers, if you want to spread this hope, please like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Knowledge is protection. We also must remember the importance of peace. Reports describe the attackers as suspected Fulani bandits, but we must be careful. Not all Fulani are criminals. Millions are hardworking, honest, and peaceful. We focus on the criminals, not the community. This is very important because blame and hate can make the problem worse. We want safety, not division. So please, like this video, subscribe, and comment below. Peace and safety for all. Let us make that message strong. Imagine the moments when victims are rescued from the forest. Some are so weak they can barely walk. Others are crying from relief. Families rush forward to hug them. Neighbors clap. Hunters are praised, and there is joy everywhere. But behind that joy, there is also trauma. Victims often cannot sleep well after their rescue. They hear gunshots in their dreams. They remember the days of hunger, the fear of never seeing their families again. This is why we must not only celebrate their rescue, but also support them afterward. Communities must come together to help victims heal because safety is not just physical, it is also emotional. My viewers, if you believe in supporting rescued victims, please like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment of encouragement right now. Now, let us think about the financial side. Many kidnappers survive by collecting ransom. Families sell land. Businesses close. Savings are emptied just to pay. Even when victims are freed without ransom, the community often spends money searching for them. This is why hunters destroying criminal camps is very important. It breaks that cycle. If the criminals cannot hold victims for long, they cannot demand money. That weakens their power. Now, let us look at the hunters themselves. Many of these hunters are not trained in big military academies. They are ordinary men from villages who know the forests like the back of their hands. They know the animal tracks, the hidden paths, the secret water streams, and even the caves where criminals may try to hide. What makes them strong is not just their hunting skills, but also their determination. They know that if they do not rise, their own families and neighbors could be the next victims. That is why when they enter the forest, they are not just fighting for strangers, they are fighting for their own people. Viewers, if you respect these local heroes, please like this video now, subscribe, and write in the comments. Respect to the hunters. And let us not forget, many hunters do not even have advanced weapons. Some still use single barrel guns, some use locally made rifles, some only carry machetes. Yet, they move boldly into forests where criminals carry sophisticated weapons. This courage is beyond words. It shows us that determination is sometimes stronger than equipment. But imagine what more they could achieve if given better tools, protective vests, modern rifles, communication gadgets, and night vision lights. They could save more lives. They could end the problem faster. This is why government support is so important. Please, viewers, like this video, subscribe, and share so the message can reach leaders who can make this support possible. Now let's turn to the daily lives of villagers who live close to these forests. Every day, they wake up with a mix of hope and fear. Farmers wonder if they can safely go to their farms. Traders wonder if the road to the markets will be clear. Children sometimes walk to school in groups because of fear of attacks. These are not just stories, they are daily realities. Yet, despite the danger, people do not give up. They continue farming, they continue trading, they continue living. This shows us the resilience of ordinary Nigerians. Friends, if you admire this resilience, take a moment right now. Like this video, subscribe, and comment. We will not give up. Let's also discuss the role of faith. In times of insecurity, many families turn to prayer. Churches, mosques, and traditional leaders gather their people and pray for protection. Some communities even hold night vigils, asking for peace to return. This faith keeps people strong. It gives them courage to keep moving forward, even when times are hard. And when hunters return victorious, the first thing many people do is thank God. This shows us that beyond weapons, beyond intelligence, there is also faith and hope that drives people forward. Viewers, if you believe faith is strength, like this video, subscribe, and type in the comments, faith keeps us strong. Now, let us zoom out and compare with other states. In Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, and Niger, similar battles are going on. Communities are also rising. Hunters and vigilantes are also joining hands with security forces. But the difference we see in Kogi is how united the efforts have become. Government, hunters, villagers, and soldiers working hand in hand. This unity is the secret of their success, and it is something other states can learn from. If all states copy this style, criminals will have no safe space anywhere. So viewers, please like this video, subscribe, and share because unity is the answer. And while we talk about this, let us not forget that criminals sometimes change tactics. When forests become too hot for them, they may move to riverbanks, mountains, or even city outskirts. This is why security must always adapt. Hunters must be ready to patrol new areas. Intelligence gathering must continue. Communities must remain alert. Criminals may change location, but determination must not change. That is how victory will be permanent. Friends, if you believe we must stay alert always, please like, subscribe, and type in the comments. Always alert. Finally, let's imagine the Nigeria we want to see. A Nigeria where travelers can drive from Abuja to Lokoja at midnight without fear. A Nigeria where farmers can go to their farms without worry. A Nigeria where mothers do not cry for kidnapped children. That Nigeria is possible, but it will only come when we all play our part. Hunters, soldiers, government, villagers, and even we who are raising awareness through platforms like this. And that is why I ask you once again, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it widely. Together, our voices can create the Nigeria we dream of. Really touched hearts. A group of travelers on their way to a wedding was attacked around one of the forest corridors. Men, women, and even children were taken into the bush. For days, their families wept, calling on government to act. Hunters in the area, with the help of security forces, moved in after receiving intelligence. Friends, if you agree money should never control life and safety, please like, subscribe, and help spread this message. Let us also talk about travelers. Sometimes travelers do not know the danger ahead until it is too late. A family may board a bus thinking it will be a normal journey, but halfway, the bus is stopped. In those moments, everything changes. This is why information is power. If you hear about unsafe routes, avoid them. If you must travel, go during the day in groups if possible. Simple choices like these can save lives. So viewers, if you are watching now, please like this video, subscribe, and also share it with someone who may be traveling soon. It may protect them. Now, I want us to reflect on the courage of ordinary villagers. Some of them see strangers hiding in the bush and immediately report to hunters or security forces. Some even join rescue missions themselves. These are ordinary people, farmers, traders, students. But when their community is under attack, they rise to defend it. This shows us something powerful. True safety is not only about government, it is about all of us working together. Friends, if you are proud of these villagers, take a moment right now, like this video, subscribe and comment. Community power. Let us celebrate them. Let's also talk about government action beyond Kogi. The federal government has promised to deploy more technology like drones to monitor forests. They want to strengthen local security networks, and they are planning more joint operations between states. These steps are important, but they must be real and consistent. Nigerians have heard many promises before. What matters now is action, and we, the people, must keep speaking so leaders do not forget. That is why your support matters. So please, like this video, subscribe and share, because the louder we speak, the more government will act. Think also about the future. If the criminals are not fully defeated, they may try to regroup elsewhere. This is why victory must be total. Hunters must continue patrols. Security forces must continue intelligence work. Communities must continue reporting suspicious movements. Only when all sides stay alert will these criminals be unable to rise again. My viewers, if you believe in a safe future for Nigeria, click like now, subscribe, and share this vision with others. And finally, remember, we are one people. No matter our tribe, no matter our religion, no matter our background, we all want the same thing: peace, safety, and the freedom to live without fear. The fight against kidnappers is not about one group versus another, and it is about everyone standing together against crime. This is the message we must carry forward. So I ask you once again, before we move further, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments, "Together for peace." Let us stand united. Let us take a moment to remember some of the past incidents that shook Kogi before this latest breakthrough. There was a time when travelers on the Lokoja-Oken road were regularly attacked. Families dreaded passing that route. There were stories of entire buses being hijacked, with everyone taken into the bush. Those events created fear, but they also built determination. Communities said, "We cannot live like this forever." That determination is part of what led to this moment, where hunters have stormed the forests and cleared out these criminals. My viewers, if you believe fear should never control our lives, please like this video now, subscribe, and drop a comment. Fear will not win. Another thing we must discuss is how families rebuild after trauma. Imagine a child who was kidnapped with his parents. He returns home but is too scared to sleep alone. Every sound at night reminds him of the forest. Or picture a woman who was taken while on her way to the market. Even after being rescued, she struggles to walk past the same road. Trauma does not disappear quickly. This is why communities must show love. Friends and neighbors must give comfort. Religious leaders must encourage healing. Governments must provide counseling where possible. Because true safety is not just about arresting criminals, it is about helping victims live again. Viewers, if you support this message of healing, like this video, subscribe and comment. Healing is power. Now let's talk about why the hunters succeeded this time. First, they had good intelligence. Villagers reported strange movement and the hunters acted fast. Second, they moved in groups, not small groups, but large numbers. When criminals saw them coming, they were overwhelmed. Third, they coordinated with security forces. These 3 points, intelligence, numbers, and coordination, are what made this victory possible, and it is a lesson for the future. Other states can learn from this strategy. So if you agree, my friends, take 1 second, like this video, subscribe, and share so more people can learn. Now, let's hear another inspiring story. In one remote village, a group of bandits had been hiding for weeks, planning attacks along nearby roads. Villagers grew anxious because many people traveling through their area had already been attacked. Hunters received word from locals and moved in quietly at night. They surrounded the camp and engaged the criminals in a careful operation. No villagers were harmed. Several criminals were captured, some fled, and more importantly, potential victims were saved before anything could happen. When news of the rescue spread, the village held a small celebration. They sang, drummed, and thanked the hunters and security forces. This shows how bravery combined with intelligence can save lives. Viewers, if you admire this courage, please like this video, subscribe, and comment. Courage saves lives. Another example is from a father whose teenage son was kidnapped while returning from school. The family was desperate. They contacted the local hunters who had been tracking suspicious groups in the area. Days later, the hunters located the hideout and rescued the boy. When he returned, the father hugged him tightly and said, "I will never take life or safety for granted again." This is the reality of families affected by these attacks, and the relief they feel when heroes act on their behalf. Friends, if you feel this story, like this video, subscribe and type "Families Matter." Now, let's focus on community celebrations. After successful rescues, communities often gather to show gratitude. In some villages, people cook large meals for hunters and soldiers. Children run with joy, elders clap, and neighbors embrace one another. These moments are not just joy. They are the rebuilding of trust and hope. Communities show that fear does not have to dominate life. Viewers, if you are inspired by these celebrations, like this video, subscribe and share to spread hope. Next, practical lessons we can all take. Always plan your journey ahead. Avoid risky routes, especially at night. Travel in groups when possible. Report anything suspicious to local authorities or hunters. Communities should stay alert and maintain communication networks. Every small precaution can prevent tragedy. Viewers, if you agree, prevention is powerful. Like this video, subscribe and comment. Prevention saves lives. And now, let us look at the long-term vision. Hunters, communities, and governments must continue to work together consistently. Training more hunters, providing them with modern equipment, using drones and technology for monitoring and keeping highways safe. All of this is part of a sustainable plan. Communities must also educate their youth, offering alternatives to crime and providing support to those at risk. Together, these steps can make attacks rare and eventually end them completely. Friends, if you believe in long-term safety, like this video, subscribe and write "Safe Nigeria." While Kogi hunters have been making headlines, other states are also taking action against criminals. In Niger State, local vigilante groups recently coordinated with the police to clear forest hideouts used by armed gangs. Reports say several camps were destroyed and some notorious criminals were apprehended. These operations are similar to what we've seen in Kogi, showing that communities across Nigeria are rising to protect themselves. Viewers, if you believe in community action, like this video, subscribe and share so more people can learn from these efforts. In Zamfara State, the military launched an extensive operation against bandits along major highways. Soldiers reported that intelligence from local communities helped locate and secure multiple camps. Families who had been held captive for weeks were rescued safely. This is another example of how intelligence combined with brave action produces results. Friends, if you admire this, take a moment, like this video, subscribe, and comment. Intelligence saves lives. Meanwhile, in Kaduna State, police and vigilante groups conducted a joint patrol in forested areas notorious for criminal hideouts. Reports say these patrols disrupted several kidnap attempts and recovered stolen property from previous attacks. Communities expressed relief, saying these operations are giving them hope after months of fear. Viewers, if you want Nigeria to continue seeing such progress, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends and family. In Benue State, local communities have started forming community watch teams. These teams patrol at night, monitor roadways, and alert authorities of any suspicious activity. Early reports show that this initiative has prevented multiple attacks in the past few months. What we see across these states is a clear pattern. When communities unite, supported by hunters and security forces, criminals are pushed back. Friends, if you respect this unity, like this video, subscribe, and comment. Unity defeats crime. Even in the Niger Delta region, reports show that local fishermen and traders are beginning to collaborate with authorities to protect waterways and roads from criminal activity. While this is different terrain from the forest of Kogi, the principle is the same. Community involvement, intelligence sharing, and quick action are key to safety. Viewers, if you agree that communities are the first line of defense, like this video, subscribe, and share this message. Now, let's connect this back to Kogi. The recent success of hunters storming the forest and freeing victims is part of a larger national effort. Across Nigeria, communities are learning from each other, sharing intelligence, coordinating patrols, and supporting security forces. The goal is not only to rescue victims, but to make areas safe so that criminals cannot return. This is a bigger vision for Nigeria, and it shows the power of people working together. Friends, if you believe in a safer Nigeria, like this video, subscribe, and comment "Safer Nigeria now." On the government side, federal and state authorities are beginning to explore technology to aid these efforts. Drones, cameras, and monitoring systems are being deployed in high-risk areas to track criminal movements. Coordination between states is improving so that criminals cannot easily cross borders to escape. And while these are early steps, they are promising. Viewers, if you think technology can help protect communities, like this video, subscribe, and share. Finally, let's look at one more related story. In Kwara State, local hunters joined forces with the military to secure remote villages after a series of attacks on farmers. Their efforts not only rescued victims, but also restored confidence in the communities, allowing farmers to return to their lands. These victories, small and large, are a reminder that Nigeria can fight back when communities, hunters, and security forces act together. Friends, if you feel inspired by this, like this video, subscribe, and write in the comments. We will fight for safety.